Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 401st episode of my series where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So much like Zion I's Mind Over Matter, the previous pick for this set, today we have another classic underground LP that dropped in the year 2000. And while it takes a completely different approach from Zion, I still heavily feel that Violent by Design, the sophomore album by Jedi Mind Tricks, is hands down one of the best hip-hop projects to come out of the early 2000s. This long-standing Philly-based crew consists of rappers Vinny Paz and Just Allah, along with Stoop, the Enemy of Mankind, who handles their forward-thinking production. And while the groundbreaking debut full-length by Jedi Mind Tricks, titled The Psychosocial, Chemical, Biological, and Electromagnetic Manipulation of Human Consciousness, dropped back in 1997, it wouldn't be until 2000's Violent by Design here that Just Allah would join the group, turning them from a duo into a trio, and ultimately giving Vinny a lyrical partner he could bounce his rhymes off of. Unfortunately, despite the success this LP found in the alternative rap circles, that still wouldn't end up preventing Just from leaving after the second studio release here. And while he would return for their sixth album, 2008's A History of Violence, really the only member that's actually stayed in JMT for its entire existence is Vinny Paz, since in 2011, co-founders Stoop, the Enemy of Mankind, would take a step away from the project due to a lack of inspiration, and though he did end up rejoining in 2015, by that time Just Allah had once again departed from the trio, this time indefinitely. Even still, I would definitely maintain that the group's best output came when all three members were together, but that doesn't mean we weren't still receiving some top-tier LPs in Just's absence. In fact, a few of my favorite Jedi Mind Tricks albums came right after his initial departure, with more solid underground hip-hop releases like 2003's Visions of Gandhi, 2004's Legacy of Blood, and 2006's Servants in Hell, Kings in Hell. And that isn't even mentioning the litany of content put out by Vinny Paz as a solo artist, or as a stellar provider of guest verses, but also from his place in the supergroup Army of the Pharaohs. One fellow underground legend that Vinny Paz has a dope collab album with is Ill Bill, who he released Heavy Metal Kings with back in 2011. And I wasn't surprised that these two work so well as a pairing, because for whatever reason, I've sort of always had them in a similar place in my mind, and I'm not implying that they sound similar or that one ripped off the other's style. I just feel like Nonfiction, the group that Ill Bill originated from, had a similar MO and approach to Jedi Mind Tricks and scratched a similar kind of itch, where both groups took rugged 90s New York boom bap and made it marginally darker and more bleak, with references and imagery ranging from torture to colonialism. And they attacked all these issues with fierce, uncompromising energy, accompanied with highly potent wordplay, dense rhyme schemes, and flow patterns that were considered pretty advanced for the time. While they may not have been quite as complex or experimental as certain other alternative acts at the time, mainly the stuff coming out of labels like Def Jux or Anticon, I still think many old school fans would consider an album like Violent by Design here as the epitome of underground hip hop. And while that's largely due to the killer instrumentals and the wide array of charismatic voices, I feel like at the end of the day, both Vinny and Just are extremely believable whenever they spit a 16, just through their pure dominance on the mic, as well as a refusal to compromise with the content they wanted to shine a light on, which I have to assume plays a role in why you can't find this classic LP on streaming services. At least not Apple Music, while all of the other JMT discography is available. I feel obligated to share at least one verse from each of these legendary MCs, and I'm gonna start with the enigmatic Vinny Paz, who uses his deep, instantly recognizable voice to open up the track Contra, where he raps, "Hold the device tight when it's time for a mic fight. You're a pagan trying to battle someone who's Christ-like. The precise knight that smashed you with a white pike, left you bleeding into the ocean under the night's light. Oh, you hype, right? Well, meet the soul benders. Cop that or get shot at like goaltenders. You roll benches till play in fear was fair game. Y'all got fucked up like sex on an airplane. That's why we can't change, we just ill, we blow trees. Sip Ole's and spit real. The clip's filled with the wrath that Cain saw. Then I slash with a leather mask and chainsaw. That's why the brain's raw. That's why your veins pour. That's why you copped my shit 9 times at the same store. That's why you entered the dragon and got slashed. And that's why the hologram counting up cash, what? Then as for Just Allah, I'm gonna pull from his first verse on the stellar opening track, where he definitely kicks this album off on a high note, coming in with, "The metal inside the barrel passes through the frames in your glasses. Quick passage, leave your dome piece backless. Envision blacklist, leave you hatless. Fucking capless, marching rappers to the spot where the earth's crack is. Hard to grasp like science and math is. The caveman who don't practice and live backwards. We oxen when streets is watching, release shotguns, homies got Deets and Watson. I feel no love, no way you shield the slugs. The ill thugs we box with steel gloves. Doubt my faith, you can taste the slug case, leaving brothers looking like dogs with the pug face. Even your girl can catch the capsule. I love pussy, but never the bitch that it's attached to." All of the production on this thing was handled by Stoop, the Enemy of Mankind, as well as Mr. Liff, a talented Def Jux affiliate who's been on the page before, and also doubles as one of the guest appearances here, of which there are many. Jedi Mind Tricks really pulled out all the stops when it came to their roster of features on Violent by Design, including a myriad of artists like Killa Shah, Esoteric, Virtuoso, Planetary, Bahamadia, Chief Kamachi, B.A. Baracus, Diamondback, Louis Logic, L. Fudge, J. Treads, Army of the Pharaohs, Tragedy Gaddafi, and we also get a dope bonus track that features the late legend Sean Price, though that was later included in the album's 2004 deluxe edition. When it comes to my honorable mentions this time around, I definitely want to recommend tracks like Contra, Death March, Exertions Remix, Heavenly Divine, Sacrifice, The Deer Hunter, Blood Rain, Genghis Khan, Trinity, The Executioner's Dream, and Muerte. Then as for my overall top 3 favorites here, I think I would have to go for Speech Cobras, Retaliation, and Eye Against Eye. Thank you for watching my 401st video. Next up we have another talented MC who I've been trying to get onto the page for a while now, so look for that upload, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite moments off this revolutionary project are. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.